Whoa, yeah. 15 years of dreaming, 15 years of rise. Page by page we learn to see our future with new eyes. From purpose to the plan and from the vision to the grind. This book became a roadmap for a brand new state of mind. We wrote it, we prayed it, we lived it day by day. And every goal we dared to set made another way. Through the winds, through the waiting, through the seasons of the climb. The ultimate Goals Handbook helped to show up every time. Here's the 15 years of goals, 15 years of growing strong. From dreams to plans, from faith to steps, we've been moving all along. Here's to the lives that changed, the journeys that became clear. We're celebrating more than a book, we're celebrating every goal set here. 12 life areas lifted: health, money, faith, and love. Career, home, and happiness with guidance from above. 7 steps of action, courage written in the lines. A handbook for becoming who we were designed. From vision boards to breakthroughs, from setbacks to wins, we learn to trust the process again and again. So here's to every chapter, every milestone we've defined. 15 years later, this book still transforms lives. 15 years of goals, days of soul. Days of plans, from faith to steps, we've been moving all along. Here's to the lives that changed, journeys that became clear. We're celebrating more than a book, but we're celebrating every goal set here. This is legacy in motion, purpose on every page. A movement for the dreamers who refuse to dim their flame. Lift your goals up to the sky, the next 15's just begun. We're stepping into destiny and the best is yet to come. It's a legacy in motion, purpose on every page. A movement for the dreamers who refuse to dim their flame. Lift your goals up to the sky, the next 15's just begun. We're stepping into destiny, the best is yet to come. Here's to 15 years of goals, 15 years of courage shown. The handbook will help us stand up tall. Now, look how much we've grown. Here's to the faith it built, the dreams we made real. We're celebrating more than a book, we're celebrating every goal setter here, yeah. 15 years, thousands of goals, and we're just getting started.
Hey family, welcome. I'm trying to share this really quick. Thank you for joining me. Give me 5 seconds here. Welcome to the birthday bash for the Ultimate Goals Handbook, celebrating 15 years of the Ultimate Goals Handbook. Thank you to those who've been rocking with us from the beginning. Before there was a book, there was a workshop. So I did my first workshop, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let me get the chat up. So let's get right into it. Welcome. I am Coach Sheréa. I'm the co-founder of the Goal Setters Club. I am a certified coach, trainer, speaker with the John C. Maxwell team, a mom of 3 adult children, grown, married, and moved out, all 3, married for over 34 years. And I am publisher of the Goals magazine, author of the Ultimate Goals Handbook, founder of Goals School, and the newly Goals Mobile. So you guys will be able to watch that whole thing unfold. We just purchased the Goals Mobile 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. And so we'll take you through that whole getting it wrapped, riding it around, getting the inside built on the first Goals Mobile, because it'll evolve into its own thing. But today we are celebrating 15 years of the Goals Handbook. And so I want to share 15 lessons that I'm sure I learned more than 15 lessons in 15 years, but I'm just going to break a few down for you today. Thank you for this person on Instagram. It doesn't show your name, it just shows user, but thank you so much. Yes, we got the Goals Mobile. So those of you who have heard of Batman and the Batsmobile, it's going to be Coach Sherea and the Goals Mobile in 2026. So I'll be rolling through your city, helping spread some positivity, some motivation, some accountability for those of you who are trying to reach your goals. It is going to be, it was a show called Pit My Ride. I'm excited. So yes, I am excited about the Goals Mobile. But we're going to get into these 15 years of goal setting. And those of you, Yolanda, I see her on here, have been with me since the beginning. Almost the beginning. I think when I went to Abundant Living, I had already published maybe 2 years of the journal, not for sure. But we're going to get into 15 lessons and 15 years. And these are my reflections. Let me do a side by side real quick. So yes, 15 years ago, I created the Goals Journal, and now it has evolved into the Goals Handbook. And so we're going to just jump into that. Lesson 1, start small. I think I'm going to make myself smaller. Let's see. Lesson 1, start small. Big goals begin with small, consistent steps. So real growth happened when I stopped waiting for the big breakthrough and started celebrating the small wins. One chapter written, one sale made, one conversation that moved the needle. The miracle isn't in the moment, it's in the momentum. And so every mountain is climbed one step at a time. Every dream is built one decision at a time. The small steps you take today are creating the foundation for tomorrow's breakthrough. Our very first goals journal was really tiny and small. It was like a pocketbook, and it was black. And I was trying to find that picture today, but I'm going to go through my pictures and find when we were actually, we started a family goal workshop in our home. And we posted it on Facebook, and people were like, well, where'd you get that curriculum? I said, well, it's something I created for my kids. Okay, I want to do one with my kids. And so we started Aspire Goal workshops out in Los Angeles at Maranatha Church with Dr. Billy Ingram, the late Dr. Billy Ingram. And then the parents that were there said, well, hey, nobody went over my goals with me when I was younger, so we need something for adults. And so it went down that rabbit hole of, okay, now I got something for kids, I got something for teens, now let me get something for adults. So when we created that first book, it was from curriculum that I had been using with my own kids. And we knew it wasn't the ultimate goals handbook 15 years ago, but we knew it was something to get started. And as it evolved over the years, as I start putting more information in there, now it's become that ultimate goals handbook. This is that book that I feel good about handing down to my kids, the next generation, to my family, my friends, to help them reach their goals. And so as a reflection for you today, what is one small action you can take towards a big goal? Write it down, then do it, even if it feels insignificant. So even the small story I just told you now, maybe you want to write a book. Maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe it's taking more years than you think it's going to take. Hey, release a booklet. Release a brochure. Release a blog post. Maybe you're not ready for your whole book right now, but release something. Release a mini brochure. Release the ebook. Release a page. Release a document. And move forward from there. Build your email list. Start your blog. Maybe start blogging from the book that you want to have. Create conversation, because sometimes when you create the conversation around your book, it may add more content for you. All right. So I'm not going to get all into super teaching, but start small. Lesson 2, stay consistent. Show up daily. Build momentum. Stay committed. Consistency is the quiet force behind anything meaningful. It's not flashy, it's not loud, it's simply showing up, especially when no one else is watching. So, whether it's writing a page, making a call, or drinking more water, small daily actions compound over time. So, a reflection for that is choose one habit that supports your biggest goal, commit to it for the next 7 days, and track your progress. Now, if you do all 15 of these steps in the 7 days, you're going to be busy. You're going to have a lot of homework. All right, number 3. Number 3. Hold on. Faith over fear. When fear whispers, faith answers. Every in my life required faith, not blind faith, but bold, grounded belief that something greater was possible. And there were moments I didn't have all the answers. There's moments I don't have the answer right now, but you still move anyway. And time after time, faith carried me in rooms where my resume couldn't. And sometimes faith took me in rooms that I didn't want to be in anyway, regardless of my resume. Faith doesn't eliminate fear. It empowers you to move forward in spite of it. So when you can't see the entire staircase, I believe that was MLK, take the first step anyway. So your reflection for this is name one area where fear has kept you stuck. Pray, reflect, affirm your next move, then take one brave step forward. Right, I'm just going to check the comments really quick. See if there are any comments. Give me 5 seconds here. And if you have comments, go ahead and put them on the screen. Put them in the comment section, and it'll come up on my screen. Hold on. All right. Lesson number 4. Reflect often. So you can't grow if you never pause to see how far you come. If you guys have been following me for the last few years, you know I've been getting big on reflection. Ever since I became a John Maxwell coach, ever since I read chapter 4 of the Invaluable Laws of Growth, reflection. It just changed, and I still didn't want to reflect even when I read it. I was like, ain't nobody got time to reflect. Nobody got time to reflect. Like, I'm pushing, I'm moving, I got things to do, I have a to-do list. But the reflection is when you ask yourself these hard questions. Should I be doing this anyway? You know, what has changed for me? How do I feel? How do I feel about this goal? What happened yesterday? What do I want to happen tomorrow? What happened last year? When you have an opportunity to sit down and reflect on what it is you're doing and where you're going, changes the entire game. So pause intentionally. Reflection is your reset button. It reminds you that growth isn't just about doing more, it's about understanding more, measuring your progress, gaining clarity. And so this week, set aside 15 minutes. Ask yourself what's worked, what didn't work, and what do I want to do differently next time. And if you haven't been into a constant habit of reflection is not a to-do list. You're not sitting down meditating and taking a pause thinking about what you're going to do next. You're really reflecting, saying, hey, is this the direction I really want to be in? Is this working? Is this not working? How am I feeling? And when you start getting deep into that, change the game. Lesson 5. Rest is strategy. The strategy is rest. Rest is not a reward. It is a part of the work. Rest isn't laziness. It's leadership. It's what refuels purpose and sharpens vision. Burnout taught me boundaries. Burnout taught me boundaries. It taught me to protect my energy, like my mission depended on it, because it does. And so when you honor your rest, you are honoring the long game. You're choosing success over impressive exhaustion. You know, I'm going here. I'm booked and busy. No, I am not booked and busy. I'm going to get booked, but it's not going to make me too busy. So book yourself some rest. Rest positions you to show up as your best self, not just for others, but for yourself and for your calling. And so your reflection on this lesson is to block off a no work evening. You know, what evening will you not work next week? And use it to do something that restores your spirit, not just your schedule. Okay, number 6, community matters. It took me a long time to learn this, and I'm still, I know the importance of it. Those of you who are my introvert friends, you know, we're not really trying to do community. You know, I'm really not trying to come to your event. I'm really not trying to hang out. I'm really not trying to be in a crowd. I'm really trying to be to myself in my house, on my phone, on my computer, working on my business. That has been the story of my life. But community matters. Accountability is the bridge between intention and action. And I used to believe I had to do everything alone, especially being African American. Girl, do it yourself. If they can't do it, you do it yourself. If you want it done right, do it yourself. And you hear that so much, and you're doing everything by yourself and doing everything alone. And but growth taught me that this truth is that we rise higher when we rise together. So community is powerful. It's made of people who see your potential, who speak to your purpose, and who will not let you quit on yourself. And I always say, you know, I go in a room where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. They celebrate your wins and hold you accountable when you're tempted to settle. Accountability partners who check in regular, mentors who walk the path that you've walked before, peers who understand your journey, and cheerleaders who remind you why you started. And so your reflection for this lesson is this week, reach out to one accountability partner or mentor, or be that accountability, be that mentor to somebody else, and then share your top 3 goals and ask them to check in with you. We are about to hit December. We're going to go into our Move the Needle challenge for 30 days. Check in with somebody, make sure they're good for December, make sure they're on track for their goals for the new year, and commit to keep them accountable for their goals for 2026. Hey, you need a partner to help you, lose that weight. You need a partner to help you finish that book. You need a partner to help you reach your financial goals. Check in with that person now and have them help you stay accountable for the rest of the year. Number 7, celebrate your wins. Gratitude turns progress into joy. Acknowledgement fuels motivation. When you pause to celebrate, you remind yourself, when you pause to celebrate, you also get confidence. I'm celebrating today. Normally I would not have. I'm celebrating 15 years of writing, publishing, living out this book, writing in this book every day, reaching my goals. The Goals Mobile was a 3-year goal. That was like a 3-year goal in motion. And for 2.5 years, I couldn't talk to anybody about it because I was working on the trademark. I didn't even speak it out loud. I didn't even text it. I didn't even put it in my phone. I would talk to my daughter that was here, or my husband. I would write it down on paper and be like, because I didn't want Siri picking it up. I didn't want other stuff happening. So, that was a 3-year goal in motion, and now it's here. And I'm celebrating that. So list 3 wins from the past 30 days, big or small, and say thank you out loud for each one. All right. So yes, celebrating your wins. I have been doing much better on that, especially like I always say, if you are a perfectionist, even when you get to the point of something's finished, just always, I should have did this. I should have had a black bag. I should have did this. I should have did it earlier. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Number 8, lesson 8, pivot when you need to. So year after year, I was publishing the yearly goals journal. And believe it or not, it almost cost me the same amount of time and money each year. And you would think, some people thought we just put a new cover on it. But I went through the entire book. What do I need to add? What do I need to change? What do I need to update? And I had to pay somebody to lay it out, and I had to get a whole new cover. So I had to pay somebody for a cover. There were some years where you repeated on the cover. But I also knew I still needed to add things. It still wasn't complete how I wanted it. And so this Ultimate Goals Handbook, when we got to 2025, I said, this is it. This is going to be the year that I'm not going to redo the book every year. The Ultimate Goals Handbook, this is the book. So we pivoted in 2024. We changed the whole name. Same, well, not same journal. There are some still updates. New name. So know when it's time to pivot. Where in your life is it time to pivot? Write down one change that you've been resisting and staying stuck, and it has cost you. Because we want everything to stay the same. We're afraid to change. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about AI. Listen, however you feel about AI, whether you use it, whether you don't want to use it, whether you think it's taking jobs away from people, whether you feel like you're not smart when you use it, or whatever you feel, it is here and it's not going away. So either you embrace it, figure out how you're going to incorporate it into your life, into your business, because the other people are. Okay, so know when you need to pivot. Lesson number 9, teach what you learn. Your growth multiplies when you give it away. The best way to deepen what you know is to share it. And teaching keeps me accountable. It sharpens my understanding. It reminds me to stay humble in the process. And when you teach, you don't just pass on information, you create transformation. Your story becomes a roadmap for someone else's journey. Your lessons become their breakthrough. Your lessons become their breakthrough. And how will they know your lessons if you don't share it and if you don't teach it? And so this week, who could benefit from something you've already learned? Share a resource, share a book, share a lesson with one person this week. I'm always sharing a book. If someone tells me any problem they're having and we're in a conversation, I'm like, oh, you know what? You should read this book. Matter of fact, I have that book in my library. I'm going to bring it to you tomorrow. Sometimes when I have a really good book that I love, I messed up one year because I gave those books away and then they went out of print. But I try to keep an extra book of my favorite books. I try to keep an extra book of a book that I think will benefit someone else. And if it happens, hey, here's that resource. So teach what you learn. 10, embrace change. Embrace change. Sometimes there's just a new, I really feel, well, I feel like every year is a new season. I feel like every year I'm releasing the old. I feel like every year I'm stepping forward. Every time I do my vision board, every time there's a December 31st, I always feel like there's a new season. But right now, I really feel like it's a new season, especially now with our new Goals Mobile. It's going to be this is my refirement vehicle. You know, some people call it retirement, but this is my refirement vehicle. It is the vehicle that I'm going to drive, hopefully until my last day on this earth. I will drive from city to city, or starting with my own city, and just making sure that the kids in my community, my family, know how to set and achieve their goals, and that I will be that resource for them. So learn when there's a time to embrace change, learn to recognize when it's time for something different, when letting go of things that no longer serve you, adapting to new strategies, all right? And then moving into clarity and being courageous about that. So this week, ask yourself, what old habit, belief, or routine no longer fits the person you're becoming? Write it down and give yourself permission to release it. There's also, and when I drive my Goals Mobile, there's an outfit. I've been designing my outfit, what I want to wear. I'm going to change my jacket when I go here. I'm going to change my shoes when I go to school. So I have a whole outfit. So I've been spending time getting rid of clothes that's not going to serve me in the new year when I'm driving my Goals Mobile, when I hop out. Number 11. Let me check the comments real quick. Give me 5 seconds. All right. Yeah, so yes, 15 years, 15 years. It's a long time. It's like a whole kid. And she'll be turning 16 next year. So we're going to do something next year also. So let's see. Lesson 11, document everything. Your story is the evidence of your growth. Journaling made my growth visible. It reminded me where I started, what I survived, and why I cannot give up. So putting your journey on paper doesn't require perfection, just honesty. And so when you document your journey, you create a timeline of transformation. You can look back and see patterns. You can celebrate breakthroughs. You can learn from your mistakes. Your story becomes your teacher. And so this week, you want to start a journal, capture one lesson a day. You can also do that like in your notes on your phone. I also capture my prayers. So I've had prayer journals. I don't know, maybe it's the same amount of time. Maybe before the handbook. I've had maybe my prayer journals for maybe 20 years. But they start off in little notepads, and I would just write down my prayers, my prayer requests, my answer prayers. And that also is a document too, to go back and see, how much I've been blessed, where I've come from. So those are good as well. 12. I didn't even want to put this in here, but I had to. Forgive quickly. Forgive quickly. Forgive quickly. Unforgiveness is heavy baggage for a goal setter. Forgiveness clears mental space for creativity, for peace, and for purpose. It's less about the other person and more about protecting your future. And I am still walking this out. And those of you who know me personally, you know I'm working it out. I didn't go into prayer. I have books because I know that forgiveness is vital to my next season, not only as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, but as a Christian woman. Holding on to hurt only weighs down your potential. And so forgiveness creates mental and emotional freedom, space for new opportunities, peace that fuels creativity, and your energy directed towards your purpose. And so write down a name or situation that still carries tension and say it out loud. I release this so I can rise. And so I've been a lot better. I've been a lot better. I have been a lot better. So yes, forgive quickly. 13, keep learning, keep reading, keep taking courses, keep listening to podcasts, keep interacting with leaders, keep going to conferences and events. Curiosity keeps your vision fresh. The moment I stop learning, I stop leading. Growth isn't about knowing it all. It's about staying teachable. It's about staying coachable. So every new insight sharpens your vision and strengthens your purpose. So this week, choose one book, course, or podcast that aligns with your next goal. Dedicate 15 minutes this week to learn something new. All right. 14, stay humble. Stay grounded so your success doesn't uproot your character. So no matter how far you go, humility keeps your heart aligned. Every open door, every win, it's all grace. So nothing reminds me of that more than honoring the people who helped me along the way. Success can be intoxicating, but character is what sustains it. So humility isn't just thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less and recognizing the hands that lifted you up. And that's really important. Sometimes, we go through stuff, we go through struggles, or we go through things and people help us, and then we get back and we forget about those people. Hey, make sure you come back and say, hey, thank you for helping me when I was down. Whenever you need me, I'm available for you. Right? So name 3 people who helped you get to where you are and reach out and thank them personally and sincerely. All right. And the last lesson, Legacy lives on. Your goals are not just for you. I say that a lot. They are for everyone who comes after you. And so this journey has never been just about a checklist, hasn't been just about writing a book or making money from a book. It's always been about something deeper. I have books. Right now, I have 11 books that are on, I think, Amazon. And I have more books that I'm writing. I'm writing a book now for my granddaughter. I think it says Grandma from A to Z, and I'm putting everything about my life, where I went to school, where I worked, when me and Coach B met. And so I have literally A, here, B for this, C is for Coach B. And so hopefully I'll be able to finish that before I leave this earth. But everything I do now, my word of the year for 2026 is legacy. And so I'm focusing next year as if it's my last year, if it's my last day, and trying to pump out as much, trying to get a CD out, trying to get my books out, trying to finish up these projects that I leave for legacy. So legacy isn't built in a day. Legacy isn't built in a day. It's built daily. So every choice you make, every value you uphold, every person you help, it all becomes a part of the foundation you're laying for future generations. And so right now, we have 15 years of impact. This book has been in the hands of my family, my friends, people I don't know. It's available on Amazon. We've been to schools. We've been to churches. Thousands of lives have been touched from this book, and hopefully more as we go into 2026. And so reflection is, what do you want your legacy to be? Write one sentence that defines it and keep it where you'll see it every day. All right. So those are my 15 lessons. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to give you have a few announcements. January 1st is National Goal Setting Day. And so it's more than just about making resolutions. It's about creating a clear vision, building a practical plan, and committing to meaningful action. And so I'm asking you to join me on January 1st, 2026 for National Goal Setting Day. And if you visit nationalgoalsettingday.net, go ahead and join the email list. And then on January 1st, you will have downloads available for your kids, for your spouse, that will help you set your goals for 2026. Also, join us for our annual Goal-a-thon, which is Thursday, January 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'll be teaching for 12 hours. This will be our second annual Goal-a-thon. So make sure you have your Goals Handbook with you. And we are going to set our goals for the year. And then I'll help you stay accountable throughout the year on achieving those goals. And one thing, I got the sugar-free version now, the zero sugar. But those of you who are, I'm an apple cider vinegar fan. If you come to my house, I got apple cider vinegar in the fridge, but I also take the apple cider vinegar gummies. And so if you're interested in trying those, you haven't done that, go ahead and go to go.goalie.com/Coach Sherea and use my code Coach Sherea for 10% off. So goals and goalie equals power moves. Also, staying hydrated. I love my supplement water. I have a couple of these. I have the big one. I have the smaller ones for my coffee. If you scan that QR code, and this is a Black-owned business, I keep my cold water in here and it stays cold at least 24 hours. I keep my ice in here. Go ahead and scan that QR code and use code Coach Sherea for 15% off. And if you are interested in starting your own community, if you have a passion and you want to launch your own community, whether you have a hobby, whether you teach, go ahead and scan that QR code for school community, and you will get 14-day trial. And this is our Goal School for clarity, accountability, and results. If you would like accountability for the rest of this year and 2026, go ahead and join Goal School. Just visit goalschool.com. And of course, get the Ultimate Goals Handbook. If you don't have it, why don't you have it? So go ahead and scan the QR code discover your purpose, create a life plan, and reach your potential with the Ultimate Goals Handbook celebrating 15 years. All right, and I got 2 more announcements. Let's see. So I created 2 GPTs in the ChatGPT store. I think that's how you say it. If you go to bit.ly/Coach Goalie, if you have your handbook with you and you're struggling on a goal, maybe you're in your health and fitness section, you can say, hey, one of my goals is to lose 15 pounds. And Coach Goalie is going to help you reach that goal. She's going to help you fill out your journal. And if you don't know where you need to start on your goals, visit bit.ly/goal snapshot, and it will also help you. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today for the 15-year anniversary of the Goals Handbook. Yeah. All right. And so I'm going to check the chat real quick to see if there are any what you think about that soundtrack? All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you have questions, you can just put them in the bottom of this email.
Page by page, we learn to see our future with new eyes. From purpose to the plan and from the vision. This handbook helped us show up every time. Here's the 15 years of goals, 15 years of growing strong. From dreams to plans, from faith to steps, we've been moving all along. Here's to the lives that changed, the journeys that became clear. We're celebrating more than a book. We're celebrating every goal set here. 12 life areas lifted: health, money, faith, and love. Career, home, and happiness with guidance from above. 7 steps of action, courage written in the lines. A handbook for becoming who we were designed. From vision boards to breakthroughs, from setbacks to wins, we learn to trust the process again and again. So here's to every chapter, every milestone we've defined. 15 years later, this book still transforms lives. 15 years of goals. Purpose on every page, a movement for the dreamers who refuse to dim their flame. Lift your goals up to the sky, the next 15's just begun. We're stepping into destiny and the best is yet to come. It's a legacy in motion, purpose on every page, a movement for the dreamers who refuse to dim their flame. Lift your goals up to the sky, the next 15's just begun. We're stepping into destiny, the best is yet to come. Here's to 15 years of goals. 15 years of courage shown. The handbook will help us stand up tall. Now, look how much we've grown. Here's to the faith it built, the dreams we made real. We're celebrating more than a book. We're celebrating every goal setter here, yeah. 15 years, thousands of goals. And we're just getting started.